Sports.
Many thanks for joining us. I'm Linda Ogutu. Now it is Monday, the 29th of April 2013, the day the family of the late Makueni Senator Mutula Kilonzo decided to hire a foreign pathologist to join the post-mortem examination on the fallen senator's body. Will this doctor give the family the confidence that whatever comes out of the exam will be credible? This as Kenyans wait anxiously for answers on what or who killed the outspoken legislator. Also tonight, Kenyans are challenged by the Chief Justice Dr. William Mutunga to stop vilifying the Supreme Court over the judgment given in the presidential election petition. Bitten by harsh comments on social media and newspaper columns, Mutunga has taken to social media with passionate appeals to Kenyans to be fair in the critique of the court process. Will the fragile trust of Kenyans on the judiciary take a hit from this criticism, or will Mutunga soldier on with the ongoing social judicial reforms? And is it fair usage of the freedom of speech, or have Kenyans gone overboard in their attacks on the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice? A very good evening and welcome. This is KTN, your authoritative news channel. First, the headlines.
This is to go with the wishes of those who are concerned and also the family members.
Was it foul play? Mutula family flies in foreign pathologists. Arresting Kizito, former MP, in trouble over workers' pay. Justice for Mutunga, why the chief judge is a distressed man.
Pastor ni mtu wa kufanya watu, mimi naona akifanyesa watu wa kibaba, watu wa ugonjwa wa miguu.
And in God's name, is this another Loliondo in the making? Indeed, now an independent British pathologist will join government pathologists in conducting a post-mortem exam on the body of the late Makueni Senator Mutula Kilonzo. Though details of the foreign pathologist have not been unveiled, Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama confirmed the move was approved by Mutula's family. The post-mortem examination scheduled for today to be done by a team led by Chief Government Pathologist Dr. Johansen Oduor had to be pushed to tomorrow when the foreign pathologist arrives here. Is the latest on the ongoing investigation into the mysterious death of Mutula Kilonzo.
2 p.m. at the Lee Funeral Home, the appointed hour when the post-mortem examination was to commence on the body of the late Mutula Kilonzo. Some of Mutula's family members arrive, but leave after a few minutes. The government chief pathologist, Dr. Johansen Oduor, who was to lead other pathologists in the exercise, is nowhere to be seen. The post-mortem exam was not going to happen. Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama confirming that the exercise will happen Tuesday afternoon. The family was categorical that they want an independent foreign pathologist to be included in the team of government doctors.
Looking at the incident took place on Saturday. Yesterday was Sunday. We had no adequate time to have contacted the doctor, and we wanted him to come and join other doctors here.
Muthama said a pathologist from the United Kingdom was expected in the country Tuesday morning and would join the large team of local doctors in investigating what might have caused the former senator's death. Though Muthama did not give the specific details of the foreign pathologist, he indicated that he had been contacted with the approval of Mutula's family.
There are no difficulties whatsoever, but this is to go with the wishes of those who are concerned and also the family members.
The fact that the family has demanded the postponement of the post-mortem on the body of the late Makueni Senator Mutula Kilonzo to have an inclusion of an independent foreign pathologist to oversee the process indicates the family has doubts on the cause of the death of the senator. The post-mortem examination was to be conducted by Johansen Odwor, the country's chief pathologist. Odwor was in charge of post-mortem examinations on the high-profile deaths of 6 people, among them former Internal Security Minister George Saitoti and his assistant Orwa Ojode. However, during the tribunal to investigate the Kibiko plane accident, Odwor faced a barrage of questions as allegations cropped up that he received instructions from the country's spy agents not to disclose part of the findings. Meanwhile, Director of Public Prosecution Keriako Tobiko has appointed a team of prosecutors to assist and guide police investigating the death of Mutula Kilonzo. The team, to be led by Senior Assistant DPP Grace Murungi, will work with police team led by Deputy Head of Investigations at CID Headquarters Pius Masharia. At the same time, the Law Society of Kenya has also set up a committee that will work with other committees that are working on burial plans.
The role Mutula Kilonzo played, not only as a senior counsel, but his immense contribution to the development of the legal profession in this country.
Machakos Senator Johnson Muthama, who is chairing the committee for Mutula's burial, indicated that the burial could be held on Wednesday or Thursday next week, but the committee will give specific dates in due time. Mutula died mysteriously on Saturday in his house in Manzoni area, Machakos County. Angel Katuse, KTN Prime.
The Chief Justice has taken to social media to defend the judiciary after an avalanche of harsh comments on social media and in newspaper columns following the Supreme Court judgment on the March presidential election petitions. In a statement on Facebook, Willie Mutunga said Kenyans have been hiding behind their freedom of speech to make unsubstantiated allegations against the judiciary. And as KTN's Edith Kimani reports, the CJ is now demanding justice for the judiciary.
Strange, very strange. This is one of the many responses to Chief Justice Willie Mutunga's social media statement. The CJ went on Facebook to issue what some have called an unusual demand. He wants justice for the judiciary from Kenyans. In the detailed statement, the Chief Justice says Kenyans must be accountable for what they say. He goes on to defend himself against accusations of bribery, saying, quote, "For me, the most hurtful allegation was that I had been bribed in the presidential petition. I did not know where to turn. I have never been offered a bribe in my life." The petition ruling reached by the Supreme Court has inspired a sequence of harsh analysis. Opinion columns in both local and international press have continuously faulted the judiciary for its decision. But these are the more civil disapprovals. Social media, unbarred and untamed, has brought out the worst of these attacks. One social media user, according to the CJ, has gone as far as wishing Mutunga dead. "We get hurt too," Mutunga says in the statement. "We have families that hurt because of these attacks." But this is not the first time the CJ has come to the defense of the judiciary. On the social networking site Twitter, Mutunga once wrote, "The Supreme Court has neither friends nor enemies among Kenyans. It just cares about justice for all Kenyans." Just last week, the CJ issued another baiting tweet. "Need for mental shift," Mutunga wrote. "The Supreme Court is neither Mutunga's court, nor am I the Supreme Court." So contentious was this line, it was retweeted or repeated 414 times by other users. This latest statement has seen the CJ be more direct, asking anyone with any evidence of wrongdoing by the judiciary to petition for their removal. If no evidence exists, the CJ says, "Give us justice, treat us as family, compatriots, and fellow human beings." The sudden twist of events comes as the Chief Justice ushered the judiciary into what many expected would be the new phase where the judiciary would enjoy the trust and adoration of the Kenyan public. Mutunga has been the darling of many since the very public vetting process that brought him into office. Edith Kimani, KTN Prime.
All right, the Public Service Commission has barred the media from covering the interviews for principal secretaries. The interviews of the 155 shortlisted candidates kicked off this morning, but the PSC locked out the media and the public, saying the media coverage would give a competitive advantage to those who are yet to appear before the Commission. The decision to bar journalists comes just 3 days after the Commission stated in an advertisement it would do the interviews in public. So what changed? Rita Nina has the details.
The first day of interviews for principal secretaries saw candidates from Baringo, Bomet, Bungoma, Busia and Elgeyo Marakwet counties appear before the 9-member panel of the Public Service Commission. But in an unexpected move, the Commission chose to conduct the interviews behind closed doors, barring the media from covering the interview process.
If today you hear the question that somebody was asked yesterday, definitely will go and kind of prepare, and you have kind of a competitive advantage. That is not also giving equity and fairness to the candidates.
The Commission, in an advertisement in local dailies just 3 days ago, had stated the interviews would be conducted in public, only to turn the tables when the media arrived to cover the event. The PSC says it is well within the law in its move to lock out journalists, despite general public expectation of a transparent and open recruitment of public officers. The Commission says it has received information from members of the public on shortlisted candidates, and that it says accounts for public participation.
All applicants were categorized in their county, and within the county we use a criteria of proportion of population. Counties with the bigger population could be having as many as 5. Counties with a very small population could be having as many as 2. Therefore, that gives kind of equity.
Just over 2,000 people had applied for the principal secretary jobs. The PSC shortlisted 155. The Commission will interview at least 15 candidates every day during the process that will run until the 10th of next month.
What we are looking for today is merit and a record of a track record of performance and integrity.
Of the 155 candidates, the PSC will pick 66 individuals.
We have a maximum of 22 departments. Good human resource practices tells us we should list at least 3 people per position.
The Public Service Commission maintains it has not contravened any law in its move to bar media coverage of the interviews, and the country will have to wait another 2 weeks to know the Commission's choice of 66 individuals whose names will be forwarded to the President for nomination before they face another round of vetting by Parliament. Rita Tinina, KTN, Nairobi.
Lots of expectations there. That story by Rita Tinina leads us to the big question tonight, and we're asking you, do you think the interviews for the principal secretaries should be done in public? Send a yes or no answer with a short comment to the number 8040. Of course, we will be sampling some of them at the tail end of this bulletin. Now, the final nominees of the Jubilee cabinet are set to be unveiled by the president. The country's focus is now shifting to the ministry that will be directly under the president's office, the Ministry of Interior and National Coordination. And as KTN's Asha Mulu reports, the nominee delegated to this ministry will be under close scrutiny as soon as the president unveils his or her identity.
In 24 hours, Kenyans could know the man or woman who will hold one of the most crucial dockets in the country, that of Interior and Coordination of National Government.
Na hivi karibuni nafasi hizo mbili ambazo bado hatujajaza tutaweza kujaza.
While the country is throwing guesses on whether or not this nominee will be a politician, President Uhuru's balancing act will have to consider more than this. The Interior Cabinet Secretary will be in charge of coordinating the functions of the central government, the person who could make or break the relationship between Uhuru's executive and the governors in the counties.
It was necessary for us to spend a bit of time, and like in the past, look at the CVs of these individuals, but go beyond the CVs of these individuals and the recommendations and the referees and actually engage them.
Perhaps even more crucial will be the role of this nominee to manage the county commissioners. Commissioners who are already feuding with governors over control of the counties. Chapter 11 of the Constitution gives clear guidance of how the central government will exercise its powers and functions without interfering with the county governments. The Interior Cabinet Secretary is tasked with balancing his roles while cooperating with the governors. What's more, this is the same Cabinet Secretary who will handle internal security. But as President Uhuru grapples with identifying the right person for this job, pressure is mounting from all quarters for him to consider regional balancing with his last two nominees. The country is still coming to terms with the naming of two prominent politicians to cabinet, with the Kilifi Senator Stuart Madzayo dismissing the nomination of Najib Balala as a betrayal to the coastal people.
Tunasema ya kwamba katika hiyo cabinet ni lazima tupate Mijikenda mmoja aketi hapo katika hilo baraza la mawaziri.
All eyes are now on the National Assembly's Committee on Appointments that is to start vetting Uhuru Kenyatta's nominees. Many expect that all the 18 cabinet nominees will easily sail through, since Uhuru's Jubilee controls both the committee and the National Assembly. Asha Mwilu, KTN, Nairobi.
Alright, let's stay with politics. And drama ensued at the Kakamega High Court premises today when plainclothes police officers forcibly arrested former Shinyalu Member of Parliament Justice Kizito for allegedly ignoring calls to attend a case filed against him by his workers. Before his arrest, Kizito was attending a court hearing where he had accused the sitting Member of Parliament Lisamula Anami and others of setting ablaze his vehicle. Well, it was a case of an accuser becoming the accused as police struggled and finally bundled Kizito into lockup. Take a look.
It turns out the plainclothes policemen were keeping vigil outside the courtroom waiting for Kizito. All hell broke loose as the officers ambushed the former Member of Parliament, the hunter becoming the hunted. Raw muscles raged, guns were drawn. The cops trying to take the former legislator into custody for claims that he had ignored calls to attend a case filed against him by his workers at his Aquinas Teachers Training College in Vihiga. Kizito and his bodyguard in blue shirt trying all means to avoid the arrest, but to no avail. And after much hassle, he was taken to the Vihiga police station. The case against Kizito was filed last year in November by his workers, accusing the former MP for failing to pay their dues for a period of 8 months.
Alafu nyinyi mnaongea na ndugu ya nami alikuwa OCS anaitwa Clifton Mtoto, mmekuja kunishika hapa mnaniambia I want to know my criminal case.
While resisting his arrest, Kizito claimed that his quest to seek justice was turning political. Kizito was later released, with the Vihiga Law Court stating that the issues with the workers be sorted out of court. Kizito had gone to court Monday morning to attend another case where he had accused the sitting Member of Parliament Lisamula Anami and 4 others for setting ablaze his car, arranged vogue on March 4th this year at Lugano village in Kakamega East. The cops pounced on him when he emerged from the court session. Marcy Kandia, KTN, Vihiga County.
Alright, issues of money, let's stay with that. A Nairobi activist Tokia Okoiti Omtata has filed an urgent petition at the High Court to stop the Salaries and Remuneration Commission and the Public Service Commission from bowing to pressure and revising the proposed salaries for members of parliament. Omtata wants the MPs paid to remain as gazetted by the commission at 535,000 shillings a month. In the petition marked as urgent, Omtata has also argued that the Salaries Review Commission did not violate the Constitution when it gazetted a reduced salary package for parliamentarians and other public servants in February this year. The activist also wants to stop the Salary Commission from giving MPs a 5 million shilling car grant. The case is to be heard tomorrow. Well, one man has been arrested and charged over the weekend attack on 4 villages in Bungoma that left 125 people seriously injured. The man, who was handed over to police by resident of Ndelenguela village, is suspected to be the leader of a gang that is known to many people in Bungoma as the 40 Brothers. Police is still on the hunt for other members of the gang.
Residents and police in Bungoma suspect that the daring raid on 3 Bungoma villages was orchestrated by a gang calling itself the 40 Brothers. The gang is suspected to have political leanings and may not necessarily be interested in robbing their victims. Over the weekend, 125 people from 3 villages in Bungoma County were seriously injured by the gang that descended on residents in the dead of the night.
Most of them had fractures and a lot of trauma. Wengine macho, kuna mmoja tulipeleka Eldoret, jicho lilitobolewa with a sharp object, and eventually that eye will be lost because ilimwaga maji ya ndani yote.
A 4th village, Dengelwa, was the last to be attacked by 3 men believed to be from the same gang. Unfortunate for 2, the villagers fought back and lynched them, while the 3rd one was handed over to the police along with an AK-47 found in his possession. Turns out that the man Dengelwa villagers spared is the leader of the 40 Brothers gang that has been reigning terror in the county. It is not clear why the gang attacked Kibabi, Kikwechi and Mukwa villages and then later Dengelwa village, but there are speculations that it was an initiation exercise.
We understand that these gangsters were least interested in taking away anything from their victims.
Sources within Bungoma police suggest that the gang could even comprise of 21 Ugandan nationals, a suggestion supported by this statement made by the county senator Moses Wetangula.
Some suspects have been arrested, some from a neighboring country, some from within. We want open investigations with free flow of information to the public.
The Criminal Investigation Department has taken up the matter and is still on the lookout for other gang members who are apparently known to the residents of Bungoma. Catherine Omwando, KTN.
Right, the Inspector General of Police David Kimayo and the National Police Service Commission say they are working to synchronize their functions to smoothen police operations. They have denied that there was any conflict between them. But the last few months have seen the tussle between the 2 sides play out in public, drawing the attention of some top cuts in the government, including the president. The most recent tug of war was on the transfer of 200 police officers who were moved from Weybridges in Mariakani and Malaba. The transfers, which had been effected by the Inspector General, were objected to by the Commission, which was adamant that transfer and promotion of policemen was the work of the Commission and not the Inspector General. The Commission went ahead to say Kimayo had encroached into their territory. Kimayo opposed the recent ranking system created by Johnston Kavuludi's team, apparently because he was not consulted beforehand and also because the changes triggered discontent among some senior police officers who were affected. Police appointments have also been at the center stage of the tussle between the 2. At one point, Kimayo appointed 4 junior policemen to top positions in the police and the management of the police. The appointments irked the Commission, which made it clear that the only Commission should have a grip of the police operations. In the same breath, the Commission named the Director of Communications and Internal Affairs among other appointments in the police force. They were appointments that were rejected by the Office of the Inspector General. It is a tussle that saw the Attorney General Githu Muigai wade into the fight by interpreting the roles of the 2. The Charles Nyachai-led Commission on the Implementation of the Constitution also attempted to resolve the issues among the 2. At a meeting held with the 2, President Kenyatta is said to have issued a strict directive to Kavuludi and Kimayo to work on a long-term solution and report back to him. Well, today they launched a 2-day workshop in Nairobi to deliberate on the mandate of the Commission.
When you talk of conflict, there's no conflict. Of conflict on what? Of no conflict with anybody. And again, when we talk of Police Service, National Police Service Commission and the National Police Service, those are distinct 2 entities within the enabling legislation.
There is no strain. We are working very well with the Independent Policing Oversight Authority. We consult very frequently, and you can see we are here together. You heard the comments made by Mr. Macharia, and my comments as well. We are collaborating very well. We are working very smoothly.
You're watching KTN Prime. Thank you so much for staying with us. Let's focus on a story that was earlier on done by Rita Tinina on the interviews for principal secretaries, which was not done in public. So that is the subject of our big question tonight. And we're asking you if you think the interviews should have been done in public.
Indeed, I'm asking you to send your yes or no responses to the number 8040. Linda and I will sample some of those at the course of this live bulletin and give you that poll results at the end of this live newscast.
Indeed, you're watching KTN Prime. You're taking a short break. We'll be right back.